It now appears if she wants to run for supervisor again, it will have to.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, has become a highly controversial figure at the center of a political firestorm. Once seen as a bold and ambitious leader, Henyard's tenure has been marred by legal battles, financial scandals, and a growing rift with the community. What started as a promising leadership journey has devolved into a spectacle of turmoil, mismanagement, and public clashes. One of the most explosive incidents that has drawn attention occurred when Henyard stormed out of a contentious caucus, accusing Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris of orchestrating an illegal process to undermine her. This incident highlights the increasingly combative tone of Henyard's leadership, which has deepened the fractures in Dalton's political landscape. Henyard has vowed to take legal action against those she believes are responsible for voters' suppression and political sabotage, further alienating both her critics and supporters. However, it's Henyard's handling of Dalton's finances that has caused the most concern. Reports of extravagant spending, including a $43,000 Amazon shopping spree and lavish travel expenses, along with mysterious purchases made with Village credit cards, have shocked residents. These revelations have raised serious questions about her fiscal oversight, which was already a concern when an investigation led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed that Dalton's general fund had gone from a surplus of $5 million to a deficit of $3 million in just 2 years. Despite public outrage, Henyard has shown little willingness to admit any wrongdoing or step down, instead opting to double down on her combative rhetoric. Her approach has solidified a core base of supporters who view her as a victim of political conspiracy, but has only intensified divisions within the community. In addition to financial mismanagement, Henyard's administration is also under the cloud of an FBI investigation, adding another layer of uncertainty and pressure to her already volatile leadership. With federal authorities now involved in examining her financial records, residents are questioning whether Henyard is more focused on protecting her public image and clinging to power than on actually addressing Dalton's severe financial and infrastructural challenges. Despite the mounting accusations and public outrage, Henyard remains defiant, positioning herself as a fighter against a corrupt political establishment. As Dalton's government becomes increasingly unstable, Henyard's refusal to collaborate with others and her increasingly authoritarian style of leadership has made it difficult for the local government to function effectively. Tensions between Henyard and local politicians, especially the trustees, have reached a boiling point, with some members refusing to attend meetings due to her lack of cooperation. Calls for Henyard's resignation are growing louder, with political observers questioning whether she is capable of leading Dalton through its current financial crisis. As Election Day looms, a new challenger has emerged in the form of Jason House, a lifelong Dalton resident who has declared his intention to run for mayor. House's campaign focuses on restoring transparency, accountability, and financial responsibility, which has quickly gained traction, particularly among those frustrated with Henyard's leadership. House positions himself as a clear alternative to Henyard, promising a fresh start and a commitment to addressing Dalton's real issues. Henyard's tenure has been defined by scandal, poor decision-making, and a failure to address the pressing needs of the community. As the political crisis deepens, it is unclear whether Henyard's defiance will lead to a resurgence of power or further entrench Dalton's problems. The coming months will reveal the true legacy of her time in office. Meanwhile, Henyard's troubles have extended beyond the local level. Her recent failure to secure a position on the Democratic ballot in Thornton Township, where she had long been a prominent figure, has further damaged her political prospects. The omission from the ballot, resulting from her campaign failing to meet key requirements, opened the door for Senator Harris to seize control of the township's Democratic nomination. Henyard and her supporters have accused Harris and other Democratic leaders of orchestrating a plot to push her out, while her critics see it as another example of her failure to manage basic campaign requirements. This dramatic shift in local politics has tilted the power dynamic away from Henyard and toward Harris, whose own leadership style is also under scrutiny. As Henyard continues to navigate the fallout from her exclusion from the ballot, political observers are watching closely to see how the situation unfolds. Will she be able to regain her footing and maintain her grip on power? Or will this setback be the final blow to her political career in Thornton Township? Regardless of the outcome, it is clear that the stakes in Thornton Township are incredibly high. The battle for political dominance is far from over, and the future of the town is uncertain. The ongoing power struggle between Henyard and Harris will have long-lasting consequences for the community, and it remains to be seen whether the town's leadership can overcome the dysfunction and start addressing the serious issues facing Dalton and Thornton Township.
Henyard, who was appointed to that position tonight, lost her bid for the Democratic Party.
Controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard continues to escalate, with her loss at the recent Thorn Township Democratic Caucus adding fuel to the fire. After being excluded from the ballot, Henyard stormed out, accusing Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris of running an illegal process. She threatened legal action, claiming that the event was unfair and mishandled. However, Harris vehemently denied these accusations, asserting that the caucus followed the rules and explaining that the process might have been unfamiliar to the residents of Thorn Township, which had not held a caucus in years. Despite his reassurances, Henyard's supporters maintained that the process was rigged in Harris's favor, accusing him of packing the room with his supporters while leaving Henyard's allies outside. Some even alleged vote tampering, claiming that hundreds of people were turned away and excluded from the process. This dispute didn't end there. Henyard has since doubled down on her accusations, calling the caucus a scam and threatening legal action. Her lawyers have cited a rule prohibiting township supervisor candidates from running for another office at the same time, a rule that Henyard claims she was unaware of until the day of the caucus. She believes this rule was deliberately used to prevent her from appearing on the ballot, further claiming that the process was intentionally biased against her. Harris's team, however, maintains that the rules were made public well in advance and rejects Henyard's claims of foul play. Henyard's troubles extend far beyond the caucus controversy. She has become a polarizing figure in local politics, with critics accusing her of mismanaging public funds for personal gain. One of the most shocking revelations was her alleged $443,000 Amazon shopping spree in a single day. This extravagant spending raised alarms, especially among residents, already struggling with Dalton's economic difficulties. Additionally, Henyard allegedly accumulated over $100,000 in travel, food, and other discretionary expenses, further intensifying concerns about her financial priorities. A preliminary investigation by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired to examine Henyard's finances, outlined a troubling pattern of behavior. The investigation cast doubt on Henyard's leadership, portraying her as someone who prioritizes personal gain over public service. It also revealed that under Henyard's leadership, Dalton's general fund went from a surplus of more than $5 million to a deficit of over $3 million in just 2 years. This alarming financial shift raised serious concerns about the village's financial health and Henyard's management of taxpayer dollars. Further investigation into Henyard's spending revealed that she allegedly used a village credit card for personal purchases at places like Walgreens, Target, and Wayfair, deepening frustration among Dalton residents, many of whom earn a median annual income of just $24,000. Despite the growing public outcry, Henyard's supporters argue that she is being unfairly targeted by political rivals. They claim that the town's financial struggles stem from systemic issues that predate her administration, and that her spending was part of an effort to modernize and improve the village. However, Lightfoot's findings suggest that Henyard's lack of oversight and transparency may have worsened the town's financial problems rather than alleviating them. The investigation revealed a pattern of poor management that contributed to Dalton's ongoing fiscal crisis, leaving residents questioning Henyard's commitment to serving their interests. Henyard's financial troubles have spilled over into her personal life. Recently, it was revealed that Henyard and her boyfriend are facing eviction from their rental property due to months of unpaid rent. They allegedly owe thousands of dollars in back payments, and in an attempt to avoid eviction, Henyard reportedly changed the garage code and locks to prevent the landlord from accessing the property. This has raised further concerns, especially considering that Henyard holds dual roles as the mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township, earning nearly $300,000 annually. If she cannot manage her own finances, many are questioning her ability to handle millions in taxpayer dollars. Her financial mismanagement has also had a serious impact on her governance. Trustees in both Dalton and Thornton Township have raised concerns about unpaid invoices and overdue payments for essential services. One of the most critical issues is the township's insurance, which reportedly lapsed due to non-payment, leaving residents vulnerable. This has put critical services, such as senior bus programs and liability coverage for township properties, in limbo. Henyard has blamed the trustees for obstructing her efforts to resolve these issues, but critics argue that her own poor financial management is the root cause of the crisis. In an attempt to address some of the financial challenges, Henyard recently proposed slashing the salary of her successor as Thornton Township Supervisor to $225,000, a significant cut from the $200,000 she currently earns. This move was condemned by trustees, who argued that it was an attempt to deter qualified candidates from running, sparking outrage among the community. Many residents are frustrated as taxpayer money is being used to fund Henyard's ongoing legal battles, which some view as personal vendettas rather than legitimate professional concerns. The situation has become even more dire with the FBI investigation, now looming over Henyard's conduct. The investigation centers on allegations that she misappropriated public funds for personal and political retribution. Business owners have claimed that they faced severe consequences for refusing to support Henyard politically, including having their business licenses canceled or being forced to shut down. These actions have raised serious concerns about Henyard using her political power to punish those who oppose her. The growing controversy has prompted calls for an examination of Henyard's spending and leadership. Reports have surfaced revealing that some police officers in Dalton earned more in overtime than their annual salaries, raising additional questions about excessive expenditures. Critics argue that Henyard's questionable financial decisions have diverted funds away from essential town improvements, further straining the already fragile fiscal situation. Despite the mounting evidence of mismanagement, Henyard remains in office. Her political future, however, remains uncertain. Recent polling shows that 82% of voters believe her time in office is coming to an end. Henyard, however, remains defiant, asserting that she will remain on the ballot even if she has to run as an independent or a right-wing candidate. She has claimed that she is being unfairly targeted, likening herself to former President Donald Trump, and insists that she will win in the upcoming election. With mounting legal battles, ongoing financial scrutiny, and growing public discontent, Henyard's tenure as mayor and supervisor has left Dalton and Thornton Township deeply divided. Many are questioning whether her leadership has permanently damaged the community and whether the township can recover from the fallout of her actions. The growing dissatisfaction among residents and the ongoing investigations suggest that the People of Dalton may be looking for a change in leadership. Whether Henyard can weather the storm and maintain her political career, or if her scandals will ultimately bring her down, remains to be seen. The clock is ticking as her political future hangs in the balance. The ongoing political drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard continues to intensify, with mounting public dissatisfaction and a growing list of legal and financial issues threatening to derail her leadership. Despite overwhelming evidence of financial mismanagement and a looming FBI investigation into allegations of public fund misappropriation for political retribution, Henyard has steadfastly maintained that she is the victim of a smear campaign. At a recent village board meeting, she likened herself to former President Donald Trump, claiming that her political opponents are targeting her because of her position and her challenges to the political establishment. However, her claims have done little to convince her critics. One frustrated comment from a resident captured the sentiment of many, stating, "She doesn't even pay her own bills." The controversy deepened when the FBI launched an investigation into Henyard's financial conduct, specifically focusing on allegations that she used her political power to punish business owners who refused to support her politically. Business owners, including the proprietor of Wanda's, claimed they faced severe consequences, such as the cancellation of their business licenses and other retaliatory actions. These allegations have fueled concerns that Henyard is turning the township into a real-life version of the chaotic fictional town depicted in Parks and Recreation, where personal vendettas and political power struggles take center stage. This ongoing drama has prompted not only federal investigations, but also inquiries from within Henyard's own administration. Township trustees have called for a thorough review of her spending patterns, expressing concerns that Henyard's financial decisions have contributed to the township's fragile fiscal situation. One particularly shocking revelation indicated that some police officers in Dalton earned more in overtime than their actual salaries. One officer, who earned $73,000 annually, reportedly made over $100,000 in overtime alone. Critics argue that such excessive expenditures, combined with Henyard's questionable financial management, have diverted funds away from essential town improvements and strained the township's budget even further. Despite the growing evidence of mismanagement, Henyard remains defiant and continues to hold her position. She has yet to secure the Democratic nomination for the upcoming election, and if she fails to do so, she may only be left with the option of running as an independent or a right-wing candidate. Regardless, she remains confident, asserting that she will be on the ballot and that she will win. Henyard's legal team is preparing a lawsuit to contest the results of the recent Democratic caucus, where she was excluded from the ballot, claiming that the process was unfair. Meanwhile, the fallout from Henyard's leadership continues to affect Dalton and Thornton Township. Trustees have been boycotting meetings, leaving the township without insurance coverage, which has placed critical services like senior bus programs and liability coverage for township properties at risk. Residents are increasingly frustrated with the ongoing drama, feeling that Henyard's actions are disrupting their daily lives and undermining the stability of their community. Polls show that 82% of voters believe Henyard's time in office is coming to an end, yet she remains resolute in her belief that she will win a landslide victory in the next election. Many residents, however, view her leadership as a farce, with some arguing that she is more focused on protecting herself and maintaining power than addressing the real issues facing the community. Critics have accused Henyard of prioritizing personal political gain over the welfare of Dalton and Thornton Township, with one local stating that her actions directly led to the township's lack of insurance, leaving the entire community vulnerable. Henyard's rise to political prominence may have been driven, in part, by identity politics and grandiose promises. However, her actions as a leader have left the community deeply divided. The central question now is whether she will face consequences for her behavior or whether she will continue to maneuver her way into power, leaving behind a fractured and disillusioned community. Residents are increasingly speaking out, questioning what steps they need to take to ensure their voices are heard moving forward and whether a change in leadership is necessary to restore the township's stability. As the political drama continues to unfold, the consequences of Henyard's leadership will likely have lasting effects on the future of Dalton and Thornton Township. With public trust eroded, financial scrutiny mounting, and legal investigations underway, Henyard's political career may be nearing its end. The clock is ticking, and only time will tell whether she can navigate the storm of scandals and rebuild the broken trust she has left in her wake. The people of Dalton and Thornton Township are watching closely to see what happens next, and the pressure is mounting for Henyard to either step up and address the growing concerns or face the consequences of her controversial actions.